The music was loud enough to keep conversations private, but not so loud that I couldn't hear Ethan's voice booming across the room. "Danny?" He waved me over, glass in hand. "Finally? You've got to meet her." I'd been here 5 minutes and already he was dragging me through a crowd. "Olivia," he said, stopping beside a woman in a dark green dress. "This is Daniel, my brother from another mother." She turned, and for a second, I forgot how to speak. "Daniel," she said, her smile warm but sharp, like she knew something I didn't. "Nice to finally meet you," I managed. "I've heard plenty," she replied. "All good things, I hope?" Ethan laughed. "Mostly. Depends on what you'd call good." Her eyes held mine just a fraction longer than necessary. "I like honesty." Ethan clapped me on the shoulder. "Don't corrupt her." We moved to the bar. I let Ethan talk about the party, the wedding plans, while Olivia stood beside me, fingers grazing the edge of her glass. Every now and then, her arm brushed mine. When the toast came, everyone raised their glasses. Ethan spoke first, voice steady, proud. Then Olivia stepped forward, thanking friends and family. Halfway through, her gaze found me. It stayed there, not a glance, more like a connection she didn't mind me feeling. My chest tightened. After the applause, I slipped outside for air. A few minutes later, she joined me. "Too warm in there?" she asked. "Yeah, needed a break." She stepped closer, folding her arms. "Ethan tells me you're impossible to impress." That's one way to put it. "Have I?" Her tone was light, but her eyes were searching. I didn't answer. She smiled faintly. "You don't say much, do you? Only when there's something worth saying." Sounds like a challenge. I let out a short laugh. "Maybe." She tilted her head. "You're not what I expected. Good or bad?" "Neither, just unexpected." Her perfume drifted toward me, warm and subtle. I looked away, fixing my gaze on the city lights. "You shouldn't be out here with me." "Why not? You're engaged to my best friend." She gave a quiet laugh. "I'm aware." Ethan called her name from inside. She glanced toward the door, then back at me. "Guess I should go." "Yeah." But she didn't move right away. Instead, she stepped closer, so close I could see the faint rise and fall of her breathing. "You notice things no one else does, don't you?" she whispered. My pulse thudded in my ears. "Sometimes." "Good," she said softly, brushing past me. The rest of the night passed in fragments, Ethan laughing, people dancing, Olivia glancing my way when she thought I wasn't looking. When I finally left, I tried to shake it off. Tried to remind myself that attraction didn't mean anything if you ignored it. But at 1:14 a.m., my phone lit up. Couldn't sleep, thinking about that look. Asterisk, Ethan called me midweek. Dinner Friday. It's just the three of us. No excuses. "I've got work, not buying it," he cut in. "Olivia's cooking. You're coming." I told myself it was harmless. Friends have dinner all the time. When I arrived, Olivia answered the door. "Daniel," she said, her smile warm. Right on time, I stepped inside. "Smells good. It's because I'm a miracle worker." She brushed past me, her arm grazing mine. It lingered just long enough to feel intentional. Ethan called from the kitchen. "Beer's in the fridge." I headed in, but Olivia moved ahead of me, pulling open the fridge door. "Sit," she said. "I'll get it." "You don't have to." Her eyes flicked up, playful. "I want to." Ethan was chopping vegetables, completely at ease. "She's been in a good mood all day," he said. "I like having company," she replied, "especially when it's yours." She looked at me as she said it. I kept my tone neutral, glad I could help. We ate at the table, Ethan talking about work. I kept my focus on my plate, but every so often I caught Olivia's gaze. She didn't look away quickly. After dinner, Ethan excused himself to take a call. I carried my plate to the kitchen. Olivia followed, brushing past me in the narrow space. Her shoulder pressed into mine. "You always so serious?" she asked, rinsing her plate. "Depends who I'm around, and I get the serious version." "Seems safer," I said. Her lips curved. "Safer for who?" Before I could answer, Ethan's voice carried from the other room. Olivia leaned back against the counter, arms folded, eyes never leaving mine. "You're hard to read, Daniel? That's the idea?" "I like puzzles," she said softly. Ethan walked back in. grabbing his drink. Movie in the living room? We moved to the couch. Ethan took the armchair, leaving the couch free. I sat at one end. Olivia didn't take the other. She sat beside me, close enough our knees touched. I shifted slightly. She'd halfway through the movie, Ethan got another call and stepped outside. "You're tense," she whispered. "You're close," I replied. "Does that bother you?" "Should, but it doesn't." I glanced at her. "That's not the point." She tilted her head, eyes catching the flicker from the TV. "I like when you look at me like that." My chest tightened. "Like what? Like you're trying not to?" Ethan came back in before I could respond. She leaned back, casual, like nothing had been said. When the credits rolled, I stood. "Thanks for dinner." "Anytime," she said. At the door, Ethan clapped my shoulder. "By the way, Olivia's planning something for you next weekend." I frowned. "What?" He grinned. "She won't tell me. Guess you'll find out." Olivia's eyes met mine over his shoulder. She smiled slow, knowing. Asterisk, Ethan called me Thursday night. "Shh. She's got something planned for you tomorrow," he said. "What kind of something?" "No idea. She just told me not to ask." That alone made me suspicious. Friday afternoon, I got a text from Olivia, downtown. Whitmore's Boutique. 2 p.m., don't tell Ethan. When I arrived, she was waiting by the entrance, sunglasses in hand. "You're late," she said. "It's 2:02. That's late." She pushed the door open. "Come on, we're gift shopping for Ethan." I stepped inside. "You couldn't do this with him?" "Where's the surprise in that?" she asked, scanning a display. We wandered through racks of tailored shirts and leather goods. She held up a jacket. "Too serious for him?" "Maybe he's more casual ego." She laughed. "You know him too well. That's my job as best friend." She glanced over her shoulder. "And mine as fiancé?" I smirked. "Pretty much." We moved to the watches. She picked up a sleek black one, turning it in her hand. "What about this?" "Nice. Expensive." "He's worth it," she said, then looked at me. "And before you ask, so are you?" I raised an eyebrow. "I'm not sure I was asking." She grinned. "But you were thinking it." After she bought the watch, she said lunch. My treat. I hesitated. "Shouldn't you, Daniel, stop thinking so hard? It's lunch." We ended up at a small corner cafe. The waitress took our order, and Olivia leaned forward on her elbows. "You know, Ethan's been distracted lately," she said. "With work." She nodded. "Always with work. Sometimes I think he's more married to his job than to me." I shifted in my seat. "I'm sure it's not like that, maybe, but it feels that way." She gave a small, sad smile. "He doesn't look at me the way you do." My pulse jumped. "I'm not sure that's something you should be saying to me." "Why?" "Because it's true." The food came, giving me an excuse to look away. We talked about lighter things, travel, books, the ridiculous playlist Ethan made for his last road trip. She laughed so hard at one story she nearly spilled her drink. "You're dangerous," she said, brushing a crumb from the corner of her mouth. "You've got something." I reached across the table. Brushing the crumb off her cheek, she froze under my touch, her eyes locking on mine like she was daring me not to look away. "Thanks," she murmured, though it didn't sound casual. "Anytime," I said. Pulling my hand back, she traced the rim of her glass with her finger. "You're different from other guys I know." "Different how? You listen? You see things? You don't try too hard." Her fingers brushed mine across the table. I swallowed. "You might be giving me too much credit." Ow! Or maybe no one else has earned it. We lingered longer than necessary. When we finally left, the air felt heavier between us. Outside, she reached for my jacket, slipping something into the pocket without breaking eye contact. "What's that?" I asked, just something for later. I started to reach for it, but she caught my wrist. "Don't look until I'm gone." She stepped back, that same slow, knowing smile on her face. "See you, Daniel," she said, turned away. I waited until she was half a block down before reached into my pocket. A folded note. "Meet me tomorrow. Same cafe. No Ethan." She was already at the cafe when I walked in, sitting by the window. "You're early," I said, sliding into the seat across from her. "I wanted to make sure you came." she replied, smiling like we were in on the same secret. I wasn't planning on backing out. Good. She leaned forward. Coffee? I nodded. She waved to the barista, then turned back to me. So, Danelle, tell me something about you. I don't know. You barely know anything about me. Exactly. Makes the game easier. I smirked. Fine. I hate birthdays. Mine especially. Her brow lifted. Why? Too much attention? I don't like being the center of the room. I wouldn't have guessed that, she said. You carry yourself like you can handle it. I can. Doesn't mean I like it. The coffee arrived, and she waited until the barista left before speaking again. What about your dating life? What about it? She tilted her head. Anyone serious?
No, why not?
Because I'm not looking, she smiled faintly. Maybe you just haven't found the right person. Maybe I'm fine being alone. I don't believe that, she said softly. And why not? Because you're too aware. You notice people. That doesn't happen if you're closed. Off. Her words caught me off guard. I stirred my coffee slowly. What about you? What about me? You're engaged to Ethan? Is that what you want? She held my gaze. Most days. That's not a yes. Her fingers brushed over. Mine on the table. Just a touch. I didn't pull away. You have no idea how hard it is to be seen, she said. Really seen? I exhaled slowly. And you think I see you? I know you do. Her hand lingered, warm, before she pulled it back. So, what do you want, Daniel? That's a loaded question. I'm not asking about career or money I'm asking about here. She tapped her chest. What you want when you stop pretending you're not thinking about it. I met her eyes. You already know the answer. She smiled knowing. For a while, we talked about nothing important told movies. Books she wanted to read, her favorite cities, but it didn't feel like small talk. Every word was pulling me further in. When she laughed, leaning her head back, I realized I'd never seen her like this. What? She asked. Nothing. Just you seem different when you laugh like that. Maybe you just bring it out of me. It was raining when we stepped outside. She pulled an umbrella from her bag. Share. She asked. I moved in beside her, close enough to feel the warmth radiating from her through her coat. You smell like coffee, she said. And you smell like trouble. She laughed under her breath. You always this charming?
Ollie.
When I shouldn't be. We reached the corner where we'd split paths. Just stopped, turning toward me. Sometimes she hesitated, her eyes holding mine. I wonder if I met the right man first. My chest tightened. You shouldn't say things like that. Why not? 'Cause I'll start believing them. Her smile faded into something softer, almost regretful. See you, Daniel. I watched her walk. Away, rain blurring the edges of her figure. That night, my phone rang. Ethan, got a question for you, he said. Will you be my best man? Daniel, can you pass me that cutting board? Olivia asked, her voice light, but threaded with that familiar undertone I couldn't ignore. I slid it across the counter. You've got flour on your nose. Touched her face quickly. Where? Right there. I reached without thinking, brushing it away with my thumb. Her eyes didn't move from mine. Thanks. Ethan was in the dining room, checking table arrangements. You two doing okay in here? He called. All good, Olivia answered. When Ethan stepped outside to take a call, the kitchen felt suddenly smaller. You work well? Under pressure, I said, leaning against the counter. She smirked. And you avoid answering questions. What question did I avoid? Why you keep looking at me like that? Let out a slow breath. Maybe because you keep giving me reasons too. Her lips curved, but she looked down at the bowl she was mixing. Dangerous thing to say. True, but you like dangerous. She glanced up, meeting my gaze. What makes you so sure? You wouldn't be standing this close otherwise. We both froze for a beat, the air thick between us. You're playing with fire, she murmured. Maybe I'm okay getting burned. She laughed, low, and shook her head. You're impossible, and you're something else. She set the bowl down. You're not supposed to say that. And stop looking at me like you want me to say more. Her hand brushed mine as she reached for a knife, lingering just long enough to make my pulse jump. "What are we doing, Daniel?" she asked quietly. "You tell me." Her breath caught, almost imperceptibly. "I think you know." I stepped a little closer. "Maybe." "I want to hear you say it." The hum of the refrigerator was the only sound between us for a moment. "You make it hard to think straight," she said finally. "You think I'm thinking straight right now?" She smiled faintly, but it faded as our eyes locked again. Hair had come loose, a soft wave falling over her shoulder. I wanted to touch it, just to see if it felt as soft as it looked. "You've got that look again," she whispered. "What look?" "The one that makes me forget I'm engaged." My throat tightened. "Olivia, don't," she said, but she didn't step back. We were leaning in now, slow enough to feel every fraction of the distance closing between us. "Tell me." "To stop," I murmured. She didn't. I could feel her breath warm just inches away. The moment stretched, suspended, almost unbearable. The back door swung open. "Sorry that took forever," Ethan said, walking in. "You guys okay in here?" I stepped back fast, pretending to grab a towel. "Yeah, just trying not to ruin dinner." Olivia turned away, busying herself with the salad. "Everything's fine." Ethan clapped me on the shoulder. "Good. Couldn't do this without you." "Man," I forced a smile, happy to help. The rest of the evening blurred. I laughed at jokes, poured drinks, and answered questions. But every time Olivia's voice carried across the room, my head turned. Every time her hand brushed mine when we passed dishes, I felt that unfinished moment in the kitchen hanging between us. By the time I left, the rain had stopped, but the air was cool, heavy. I told myself I wouldn't think about it. I failed before I even reached my car. Later at home, my phone buzzed. A voice message. I pressed play. Her voice was low. "Careful. We need to talk. Alone." I spotted her near the fountain, pacing. "Olivia," I called softly. She turned, relief flashing across her face. "You came," I said I would. I shoved my hands in my pockets. "What's going on?" She glanced around, then motioned toward a bench. "Can we sit?" Sure, we sat, but she didn't speak right away. Her hands twisted together, restless. "You're making me nervous," I said. "I'm nervous," she admitted. "About what?" Her eyes met mine. "Ethan's been different lately." I frowned. "Different how?" "Distant, distracted. Like I'm there, but not really there to him anymore." I hesitated. "Did something happen?" "No, at least nothing I can point to, but I feel it." I shifted. "Why are you telling me this?" She looked down at her hands. "Because you've noticed too, haven't you?" I swallowed. "Maybe. And because you're the only one I can tell. It's dangerous," I said quietly. Her lips curved faintly. "You always say that, 'cause it's always true." She took a breath. I've been trying to ignore it, fighting it. Tensed, but what? Her gaze locked on mine, unwavering. "I'm drawn to you, Daniel." The air between us felt heavier. "Olivia, no, listen." Her voice trembled, but she didn't look away. "I've been trying to convince myself it's just proximity. Circumstance. But it's not. Every time I see you, She stopped, pressing her lips together. "You can't say this," I said, my voice rougher than I meant. "I have to, 'cause it's eating me alive." I stood, running a hand through my hair. "You're engaged to my brother." She stood too, stepping closer. "I know. I hate myself for it. But I can't stop feeling this way." My jaw tightened. "Then you have to try harder." Her eyes searched mine. "You don't feel it?" I didn't answer. "That's what I thought," she whispered. "This isn't fair to Ethan." "It's not fair to me either," she shot back. "I didn't ask for this." I laughed once, bitter. Either did I. We stood there, the sound of the fountain behind us. "I keep thinking," she said softly, "about the kitchen, about how close we were." I looked away. "Don't." Her hand touched my arm, tentative but deliberate. "Why not?" "'Cause I don't trust myself around you." She stepped even closer. "Then maybe I should trust you for both of us." "That's not how this works," I said. Her fingers slid down to my hand and she laced them with mine. "Feels like it works just fine." I stared at our joined hands, every instinct screaming to let go, yet I didn't. For a second, I let myself imagine it. Her, here, without him. Then I pulled away. We can't do this. Her expression faltered, but she didn't back off. That's exactly why I want you. I shook my head. You don't know what you're saying? Yes, I do. You're confused. Hurt. I'm telling you the truth, she cut in. And you can't handle it. Maybe I can't, I admitted. But I'm not going to be the reason my brother gets hurt. Smile was small, almost sad. That's the difference between you and him. He doesn't see me. I bit the inside of my cheek. Olivia. She looked away, blinking quickly. Forget it. I shouldn't have said anything. That's not true. Then what? Do you want me to do? She asked, her voice breaking slightly. I want you to go home and think about what you really want. Without me in the equation? She let out a shaky laugh. Too late for that. I stepped back. Please. For a moment I thought she'd argue. Instead, she nodded once, slowly. Okay. But you should know I'm not sorry I told you. Turn toward the park's exit. I'll see you around. I'd made it halfway to the street when my phone buzzed. Ethan, I answered. Hey. His voice was tight. We need to talk. Something important. About Olivia. My pulse spiked. What about her? Not over the phone, he said. Meet me at my place. The line went dead. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding. The bar's low. Light throws gold across the table, and Ethan leans forward, fingers curled around his glass like he's holding onto something fragile. I'm glad you came, he says, eyes fixed on the melting ice. Of course. I reply, forcing a smile. You sounded serious. He lets out a slow breath. It's Olivia. I don't think she's happy. The words hit harder than I expect. What makes you say that? She's different lately. Quiet. Like she's somewhere else in her head. His voice cracks just enough for me to notice. I can't lose her, man. I love her too much. I swallow, the guilt curling hot in my chest. Have you talked to her about it? I've tried, he says, shaking his head. She just smiles and says she's fine, but I can tell. I need your help.
Help.
My fingers tighten. Around my glass, you're close to her. She trusts you. Maybe you can figure out what's wrong. I can't meet his eyes. Ethan, I'm not asking for much. He cuts in. Just be there for her. Let me know if you think she's unhappy because of me. I'll do whatever it takes to fix it. The irony stings. You really want my advice on this? Why wouldn't I? He asks, almost smiling. You've always been honest with me. I force out a laugh that tastes bitter. Yeah, honest. He leans back, relief softening his shoulders. Thanks, man. You don't know what this means to me? No, I have no idea. We talk about safer things after that work. An old college story, but the weight never lifts. When he finally leaves, I stay at the table, staring at the glass in front of me until the condensation runs into a small puddle. My phone buzzes. Olivia, meet me tonight. It matters. I read it twice, my pulse quickening despite myself. I type, what's going on? Her reply is instant. Please, just come. I sit there, phone in my hand, knowing exactly what I should do, and hating how much. I want to do the opposite. Ethan's voice echoes in my head. I can't lose her. By the time I step out into the night air, the decision's already made. The rain started again, light and steady. My jacket's damp by the time I reach her place, and my heartbeat feels too loud in my ears. I raise my hand to knock, but the door opens before I touch it. She's standing there in a silk robe, hair loose, eyes locked on mine like she's been waiting for this moment all night. Asterisk, the moment I step inside, the air feels heavier. She closes the door slowly, like sealing us in. You came, she says, voice quiet but certain. You didn't give me much choice, I answer, trying to sound casual. Her eyes flick to mine. Did you have stayed away if I had? I hesitate, I don't know. She smiles faintly, like she knows that's a lie. You do. I shove my hands in my pockets. Olivia, what's going on? You've been avoiding me, she says, stepping closer. And I can't stop thinking about the last time we saw each other. That's exactly why I've been avoiding you, because you felt it too. I shake my head. This isn't a game. Ethan loves you. she cuts in. He trusts you. Shouldn't I know I shouldn't? Her words falter, but her eyes never leave mine. I swallow. Hard. Then why am I here? Because I needed you to be. I glance toward the couch. We could have talked anywhere. You didn't have to. You didn't have to what? She tilts her head, robe shifting slightly on her shoulder. I exhale sharply. You know what you're doing? She steps past me, sinking onto the couch. If you're that uncomfortable, leave. I stay where I am, staring at her. You don't make it easy. Her smile is faint, almost sad. Good. I don't want easy. I finally sit, leaving space between us. Say. What you need to say? She folds her hands in her lap. I'm not happy, Daniel. Not with him. Not the way I thought I'd be. That doesn't mean it means I've been lying to myself. To him. And maybe to you. Her voice dips. But I can't keep pretending. The silence. Between us stretches, pulling me in. And what am I supposed to do with that? She looks down, then back up. Tell me you don't feel the same? Tell me, and I'll stop. I can't. The words won't come. Her breath catches. That's what I thought. This is wrong, I say finally. So wrong, she whispers, shifting closer until our shoulders brush. Then why does it feel so right? I close my eyes for a second, trying to steady myself. You're marrying him. I know. She turns toward me fully now, knee touching mine. But right now it's just us. That's not how it works. Her hand moves, slow and deliberate, until it finds mine, then tell me to stop. I should say it now and mean it, but I don't. She lifts my hand, pressing it gently against her chest, right over her heartbeat. Feel that? That's what you do to me. I can't look away. My fingers tremble against her skin. Olivia, her voice softens. Don't you? Dare say you don't want this? I pull my hand back, finally breaking the contact. We can't. Her lips curve into something bittersweet. That's exactly why we will. I'm leaving, I say, though my voice isn't steady. I'm not stopping you. I stand, and she stays seated, watching me like she's memorizing the moment. At the door, I pause, unsure if I'm breathing right. You know, this changes everything, I tell her. She leans back against the couch. That's the point. I step out into the night before I lose the will to go. The cool air should clear my head, but it doesn't. Every step away from her feels heavier. It's like I'm carrying the weight of something I can't name. By the time I get home, the city feels too quiet. I don't sleep. Morning comes in a blur of coffee I can't taste. I'm halfway through my second cup when my phone rings. Ethan, hey, I answer, trying to sound normal. You free? His tone is brighter than I expect. Yeah, what's up? I've been thinking a lot about what we talked about, he says. I realize I don't want to waste any more time. I grip the mug tighter. Time? The wedding? He says, a smile in his voice. We're moving it up. Next week. I stand at the altar, pretending my smile is natural. My hands feel too still, my chest too tight. Ethan leans in. You good? Yeah, I lie. He grins. Man, I'm lucky. I force a nod, eyes fixed forward. The music starts when Olivia steps into view. The room fades. She looks unreal. The dress, the way the light catches her hair, it should feel like joy. But it feels like a warning. Ethan's breath catches. She's perfect, he whispers. I can't answer. She walks down the aisle. But her gaze flickers toward me, quick, sharp, and gone. My pulse stutters. The vows begin. Ethan's voice is steady. Sure. Promise to love you. To stand by. I watch her lips move, repeating her promises back. But her eyes find mine again. Just for a second. Heat coils in my chest. The officiant says the words. Rings slide into place. Cheers and clapping fill the air, but I barely hear them. At the reception, I stick close to the edge of the crowd. The music is too loud, the laughter too bright. Ethan claps my shoulder. You've been quiet? Everything okay? Just tired, I tell him. He chuckles. Not too tired for the toast, right? I raise my glass later, delivering the words I rehearsed. All safe, all clean. To Ethan and Olivia, may you build a life as beautiful as this day. She smiles politely from across the room. Only I notice the way it doesn't touch her. Eyes. Dinner blurs into dancing. I watch them sway together, her hand on his shoulder, his grin wide and easy. She tilts her head toward him, says something. He laughs. She doesn't. I step outside for air, and the cool night hits me and I breathe like I haven't all day. Daniel. Her voice makes me turn. She's in the doorway, framed by golden light. From the hall, "You shouldn't be out here," I say. "And you shouldn't look at me like that," she replies, walking toward me. Like what? Like you remember. I try to hold my ground. I'm the best man I'm supposed to be. Happy for you. You're supposed to be happy for him, she corrects softly. No one asked if you were happy for me. My throat tightens. Are you? She looks down, shaking her head. This should have been different. The words hit like a stone in my chest. It's too late. She steps closer. Is it? I glance toward the hall. If someone sees us, then they'll see two people talking. Her tone is defiant, but her eyes, they're raw. Olivia, you just married him. I know what I did. Her voice drops, and I know what I feel. Don't move. You need to go back. Inside? Say it first, she whispers. Say what? That you feel it too. That you think this should have been different. The silence stretches between us. My jaw locks. Go inside, Olivia. Her breath catches, hurt, frustration, maybe both. She steps back, but her gaze lingers. You can lie to yourself, Daniel. But I see you. Before I can speak, Ethan's voice cuts in from the doorway. There you are. She turns, smiling effortlessly. I was just getting some air. He glances at me, keeping my bride company. I force a grin, just making sure she didn't get lost. Ethan laughs, wrapping an arm around her. Come on, the cake's waiting. I watch them walk back inside, her hand resting lightly on his back. She doesn't look over her shoulder. The rest of the night drags. Every toast, every song stretching like a rubber band ready to snap. When it's finally over, I drive home in silence. I tell myself to let it go. I tell myself this is the last time I'll think about her like this. I don't believe it. Weeks pass. I bury myself in work, in anything that keeps my phone face down. But it doesn't matter. One afternoon, there's a knock at my door. No one's there, just a plain envelope on the mat. My name and her handwriting inside is a single sheet of paper. I'm leaving him. Need to see you. My hands shake as I read it again. Asterisk, I spot her before she sees me standing by the park bench, hair whipping in the wind. I almost turn around. Almost she notices me, steps forward. You came? Your letter didn't exactly leave room to ignore, I say, my voice colder than I intend. I needed to explain. I cross my arms. Go ahead. Her eyes flicker. Ethan knows. About us. The air tightens around me, you told him. No. Someone saw us that night at the wedding. My jaw clenches. Who? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. Matters to me, I snap, because now I'm part of this disaster you built. Her face hardens. Don't you dare put all of this on me. You dragged me into it. I fire back. You came to me. You kissed me, and then you married. Him anyway. I made a mistake, she says, her voice trembling. But so did you. I laugh, sharp, humorless. The difference is, I can live with mine. She shakes her head. You're not angry because of Ethan. You're angry because you thought you meant more to me than you did. Her words hit harder than I want to admit. So I was just, what, a distraction? Something to keep you warm before the vows? That's not fair. It's the truth. She looks away, blinking fast. Ethan doesn't want to see me again. He threw me out. I cross my arms tighter. So you came running to me. Thought you'd understand? Understand what? That you burned down 2 relationships in one night. Her lip trembles, but her voice stays firm. I came because I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye. Goodbye? She nods once. We're done, Daniel. We have to be. I stare at her. You're the one ending it. I'm the one admitting it's over. Silence settles between us, cold and final. She takes a small step back. I hope someday you stop being so angry. I don't answer. Turns, walking toward the street without looking back.
Ow.
Each step feels like she's pulling something out of me I didn't even know I'd been holding. When she's gone, I stand there until the wind cuts through my jacket. And I tell myself I should feel lighter. I don't. Weeks pass. I keep my head down, avoid the places we might cross paths. I don't hear from her. One afternoon, I'm leaving a coffee shop when I hear Daniel. I turn. Ethan stands there, hands in his pockets, eyes tired. Hey, I say carefully. He nods once. I heard you saw her. Yeah, he exhales. Look, I'm not here to fight. Then why? His gaze meets mine. Because I wanted to say thanks? I blink. For what? For showing me her true colors. Something twists in my stomach. You didn't have to. I saw enough. He looks away, jaw tight. She was never really with me. I think I just didn't want to see it. I search for something to say, but everything feels wrong. Ethan, I don't. He cuts in. It's done. I'm moving on. Got. You should too. We stand there in the quiet street, cars passing, people walking by like nothing's happened. He gives me a faint, tired smile. Take care, Daniel. Then he walks away, shoulders squared but slower than they used to be. That night, I sit alone. In my apartment, staring at the ceiling. I think about Olivia's face when she walked away. I think about Ethan's voice when he said he was moving on. The truth settles heavy in my chest. I didn't just lose them both, I never truly had either.